A lot of people think that the harder you push in the gym and the more often you go, the more results you'll see. And no, that's not necessarily the case. If you don't take the time to properly recover between workouts, you're not going to be seeing the results that you want. What's up everyone, David here. Got a new video for y'all today, but before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you miss on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. Now today we're going to be talking about one of the biggest mistakes I made when I first started lifting, one of the biggest mistakes that I know many of you are probably making, especially if you're new to the gym. I don't care what your goal is. Building strength, building muscle, losing fat, or any facet of fitness, just improving overall health, regardless of what it is, I need you to stop thinking that the more you do in the gym, the better it is. No, more is not always necessarily better. All you're doing is just burning yourself out. You all gotta understand, when it comes to seeing results in the gym, regardless of what those results might mean to you, you gotta recover. You can't just keep pushing as hard as you can every single day at the gym and expect to see results if you're not prioritizing your recovery. You gotta take the time to actually step back and relax. This was a big mistake that I personally made when I first started working out. The amount of workouts I was putting in each week, not only that, but the duration of each workout, working out for almost 3, 4, 5 hours per day, Monday through Sunday, not even taking the days off. I can't stand when I hear beginners say, oh yeah, no days off. No, we putting in this work. We're hitting the gym every single day. No, all you're doing is just doing more harm than good. You gotta understand, your body needs the recovery. One of the most popular goals, building muscle. Do you really think you're actually building as much muscle as you think you are during the workout? No. During the workout, when you're actually lifting weights, actually doing what you think you're supposed to be doing, all that is giving your body the start, the stimulus to elicit the process of building muscle. You're kickstarting that process. But the actual building of the muscle, that happens when we sleep. That happens when we recover. But here's the thing. How exactly do you recover from your workouts? How do you know if you're pushing too hard to even warrant recovery? Or how do you know if you're not even pushing it hard enough to warrant needing to rest this much? So for the sake of this video, I'm going to be explaining to you the way that I recover from the way that I personally work out. Right now, 5-day split, sometimes even going up to 6, but it really just comes down to recovery in 3 main ways. Number 1, optimizing the quality of your sleep. Number 2, having smart programming. And number 3, actually maintaining the proper diet depending on what your goal is. Without a doubt, the number 1 thing you can do for recovery is going to be optimizing your sleep. You want to talk about illegal steroid? You want to talk about all the performance enhancing benefits of roids, but for free, no cost, and no health risks associated with it? You got to prioritize your sleep. So many of you, you're lying down in bed at night after a hard workout, after a hard day overall, and you're just scrolling on your phone, just wasting so much time when all this time can be dedicated to proper sleep. Again, you cannot keep pushing yourself as hard as you can day in and day out in the gym and not push yourself as hard as you can when you sleep. This is going to be one of the best day and night differences you can make to seeing results, regardless of what those results may be. Building muscle, strength, fallow, I don't care what your goal is. Prioritize the sleep. Not just that, it's not always about just getting more sleep. It's also about the quality of it itself. Me personally, when I sleep, I try to push myself to get 9 hours of sleep. I really do try. But my body's just naturally waking up 7.5 hours in. Again, I'm really trying to force myself to get more sleep because I want to really maximize this recovery. I just physically can't. My body's just used to it, and I feel good under 7.5 hours of sleep. The big thing to look out for here is that 7.5 and 9. Why those specific numbers? It's because you want to sleep in intervals of 90 minutes. The reason being is because every sleep cycle is 90 minutes. Our body goes through cycles of sleep, each one an hour and a half. So the goal is you want to be able to wake up at the start of a new cycle. How many of you feel like you're getting your full 8 hours of sleep? Because for some reason, everyone keeps saying you gotta get 8 hours of sleep. 8 hours of sleep is better. It's always number 8. But for some reason, you get 8 hours of sleep and you still feel really tired. Why is that? Because 8 hours is not an interval of 90 minutes. That's in between 7.5 hours, which is a 90-minute interval, and 9 hours, which is another 90-minute interval. So that means you're waking up right in the middle of a sleep cycle. And if you wake up right in the middle of a sleep cycle, keep in mind, you're waking up when you're at your deepest sleep, especially that far into that many sleep cycles. Because think about it, we're talking about 90 minutes. After that, keep counting up by 90 minutes, hour-and-a-half cycles. Hour-and-a-half, 3, 4.5, 6, 7.5, which is already 5 sleep cycles, and then going on 9 sleep cycles. Once you start getting to 5, 6, 7 sleep cycles, the further and the more amount of sleep cycles you're going through, the more each one of those is going to consist primarily of deep sleep. So if we're now finishing off that 5th sleep cycle, which puts us at 7.5 hours, and now we're going to that 6th 90-minute interval, a good majority of that 90-minute interval is going to consist purely of deep sleep. So if you're waking up at the 8-hour mark, you're forcing yourself to wake up at the point in the cycle when you should be in your deepest sleep. And that's why you wake up feeling even more groggy, even more tired. So again, try, if you can, to sleep within a 90-minute interval. Also, try to wake up at the same time every day. Try to go to sleep at the same time every night. Our bodies are meant to stick to routine. Our circadian rhythm, our body's biological 24-hour clock is always running. And if you keep going to sleep at inconsistent times, then where's that 24-hour schedule? There's nothing to adhere to. Outside of that, how can we affect the other factors in the room to really optimize that sleep? One of the biggest things that I recently implemented that have really helped out, this right here, blackout curtains. Look how bright the room is right now. This is the window right here. If I open it up, all that light is going to be coming through. It's daytime right now. It's 12 o'clock right now, roughly, or 1 o'clock, somewhere along the range of that. Look what happens if I were to roll out these curtains. Okay, and now let's go ahead and turn off the light. You see the little light from my microphone? You can still kind of see me here. Look how dark. Obviously, there's going to be a little light that comes in, but you know what? It's still dark. Imagine it being this dark. At night, you're going to fall asleep a lot better. Now, the light is still off, but if I were to open up the curtains, oh my God, that is a huge difference. And keep in mind, the blinds are closed, but regardless, make the room as dark as possible when it comes to going to sleep. The darker the environment, the better. Outside of that, another thing you can do, make the room cold. If you got an AC in your room, or if you got a fan, the colder the environment, the better. You look at the research, 68 degrees seems to be the go-to. If you could set the room to that cold, go for it. It's always easier to fall asleep in a colder weather compared to warmer weather. Why do you think a lot of you feel like you sleep a lot better during winter compared to summer? So without a doubt, sleep, number one. With that out the way, second biggest mistake I see when it comes to hindering the recovery is within the workouts themselves. Yes, you do have to push yourself to actually warrant the results that you want. You want to get stronger? You got to lift heavy weights. You want to build muscle? You got to push yourself. You want to lose weight? Are actually put in the right amount of effort. But here's the thing. Sometimes it's just too much. You got to be smart about your actual workout program. Yes, more is not always better. But is there a way to actually do more? Without a doubt. As long as you're smart about the way you're approaching your workout split. Me personally, the way I worked out this past day, I did 6 days of workouts. Some days were even 2 days. But here's the thing, I'm smart about what I'm doing on each specific day. And that's what it's allowed my body to still recover in time from workout to workout. You got to take into account, number one, how are your workouts structured? And specifically, what are the most difficult workouts? For me personally, my most difficult workouts, I realistically have 3 of them. Number one, squat day, which is essentially my number one leg day. Anyone who's gone through any type of brutal leg workout, you know how difficult those are. You know how taxing it is on your body. You know it's going to take a while to recover. So without a doubt, that is my most difficult workout of the day. So without a doubt, that is my most difficult workout of the week. Second workout of the week, push day, specifically bench press day. Training for powerlifter, I want to get my bench up, so I want to be straining under heavy amounts of weight. It's going to take a while to recover. My shoulders need enough time to rest, my elbows, my wrists, my pecs, front delt, triceps, all of that is going to take a hit. So without a doubt, that day is not easy by any means. My third most difficult workout of the week is going to be my deadlift day, which is essentially another lower body day, another leg day, but now the emphasis is on deadlifts and a lot of hamstring work, so posterior chain work. Those 3 days are the most difficult workouts I'm going to have that week. Once you figure out what those most difficult days are, I want you to space them out as much as you can. So the way that I did it this past week, I did Monday, that leg workout where I just went all the way out with the squats. A lot of volume on regular barbell back squats, a lot of volume on the hack squats, just a lot of hamstring work, a lot of calf work. All right, my legs were definitely feeling it. On the second day, while my lower body took a hit on Monday, I needed to rest. So on Tuesday, I'm going to go ahead and hit upper body. I'm going to go ahead and do that chest, triceps, and delt workout, that bench press workout, just straining. How beat up my legs feel is not going to affect the way I perform on the bench press. So take that into account. Give enough rest in between muscle groups. If you already know that the following day you're going to be working out a muscle group that has nothing to do with what you worked out today, okay, then you're good. Because while one is resting, the other is working. I'm doing absolutely nothing lower body related on chest day, so I can push as hard as I can with that. Now, from right here, on Wednesday, my legs are still sore from what I did on Monday. So would it be smart to actually continue to work out and push through the leg pain, push through the soreness? No, because I'm just not going to have a good workout. I'm not even going to be able to push myself as hard because I'm still in pain from Monday's workout. So what do? I do back, and this back workout is not as difficult as many other people's back workout. I'm not doing deadlifts on this day. I'm just doing my basic pulling, my basic rowing. For me personally, back workouts are my favorite. I can push as hard as I can and I still will not be sore. I can still hold up. Everyone's gonna be a little different. Back just happens to be my go-to body part. It's my best. I can push and not get too affected. But again, everyone's different. Figure out what works for you. Thursday, I'm still just a little sore, not too much, from everything that I've done up until this point. The fact that I just did back on Wednesday, I already know if I try doing deadlifts on Thursday, it will affect me to a certain degree. My forearms, my biceps are still a little sore from gripping onto the weight and pulling and rowing from back day. So what I'm gonna do is just something very minor. I'm gonna be working on abs and calves. You go through a very difficult ab workout, tell me you're too fatigued to work out the following day. No, not at all. You work out your calves and push yourself as hard as you can with those calf raises. Do you really mean to tell me you need a whole extra day to recover the following day? Without a doubt, no. So you can see I'm adding in all these extra days, but realistically, are these workouts really that difficult in the first place? Calves and abs, really? No. For me personally, my back workout, just 3 exercises, a couple rows, a couple pull downs. Is it really that hard? Not really. Friday, now I'm gonna go ahead and do my deadlifts and my hamstring work. Now I'm really pushing hard with those deadlifts. I'm going all out with the RDLs. I'm really working on those glutes, really working on those calves. Hamstrings are taking a big hit. All right, good, because there has been so many days of rest between Monday's leg workout and now Friday's leg workout. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 whole days of rest, of recovery, spaced out in between the two. Perfect. And now on Saturday, upper body. Nothing too crazy, just a little pressing here and there, a little rowing here and there. All right, good. Direct bicep and tricep work. Perfect. Done. By the time that I'm working on the Saturday upper body workout, am I beat up from Tuesday's push workout or from Wednesday's pulling workout? No, because I've had all of Thursday and Friday to rest up between those before I hit the push and the pull again. So you see, yes, you can work out that many days a week, 6 days, but be smart about it. Not every one of those 6 has to be a complete balls to the wall, difficult, intense workout. Calves and abs is realistically the easiest workout I can do, and it takes no more than half an hour. My back workout is only 4 exercises, 2 rowing, 1 pull down, shrugs. It's really not that much. Proper programming will allow you to keep going for more days. Just space out the heavy, intense workouts. And if you really feel the niche to work out that many days, have some of them just be relatively easier. Just more of an active active recovery day, if anything. Because again, calves and abs, really, is that really a difficult workout? Do we really need a whole day just for those two? Absolutely not. But at least it gets rid of that itch of wanting to do something on that given day. And lastly, diet and nutrition. Now, most people, they don't really think about this portion when it comes to actually recovering from the workouts. But you got to understand, macros play a huge factor in this. Not only that, but overall calories on how well you can perform in the gym. The whole basis of this video is to recover enough so you can get the most out of your workouts. But what allows you to even work out in the first place? Energy. You gotta have some type of fuel in your system to actually power you through the workout. That's where calories come in, especially if you're someone who's very active like myself. I'm constantly moving around. I gotta make sure I'm constantly eating enough food to actually allow me to push in the gym. Many of you, man, I hate to say it, but y'all are malnourished. You're doing way too much in comparison to how much you're actually eating. You want to recover enough from the workout, you actually got to make sure you eat enough protein after the workout, eat enough protein throughout the whole day, as a matter of fact, to actually warrant your body recovering from the strain you just put it through with lifting all these weights. Protein is going to be absolutely essential, not just for the muscle to recover, to kickstart, again, that process of building muscle after the workout, but just throughout the whole day. I don't want any of you to get so caught up with, well, should I eat this much protein after the workout? Should I eat this much? What about the timing of it? First off, most of you, you're not eating enough protein throughout the day to worry about the little nitpicky details like that. Many of you just worry about getting enough protein in throughout the rest of the day. How about we start with that? And then once you start seeing some results, then worry about the little details. Safe way to go about it, gram of protein per pound of body weight. Me, I'm 180, so I'm going to be eating 180 grams of protein at least. I oftentimes aim for a little bit more, like 200, but for many of you, it's a good start. You want to get into the specifics, do the research yourself, but for many of you, I guarantee you're not even eating enough protein throughout the whole day just to worry about little things like that. But again, protein, essential after the workout for your muscles to recover and actually kickstart that process of getting bigger, seeing the results. Now, on top of that, this is going to be my own personal opinion. Again, everyone's going to be a little different. Everyone's a nutrition expert apparently, but I love eating carbs. I see absolutely nothing wrong with carbs. Carbs are not the enemy. Uncontrolled portion sizes with the wrong kinds of carbs is the enemy. I eat a lot of rice. I eat a lot of fruits. Bread, not so much. Not because I'm against bread. It's just I just don't like the flavor of it. Tortillas, though, I do eat a lot of that. I eat a lot of burritos, a lot of quesadillas. That's my thing. But again, your body needs calories. You need fuel. What do you think is pushing you throughout all these workouts? Calories, calories, calories. Carbs are the body's #1 fuel source. Your brain, what's the only usable substrate out of the 3 macronutrients, protein, carbs, fats, that it can actually utilize? Carbs, fats, good fats specifically. We're talking about egg yolks. We're talking about healthy oils such as avocado oil or olive oil. And then avocados themselves, the fat on the steak, the fat on lean meat, chicken, whatever it may be. All of those are healthy sources of fats. Your body uses that for fuel as well. And you got to properly replenish what it is that you're burning. You got to properly fuel your body to help it recover for the next workout. Again, don't be restricting your calories so much. Yes, I understand you're on a fat loss phase. That may be your goal. You're trying to lose weight. But it doesn't mean you should be malnourished. You still got to give your body something to run off of. There you have it, everyone. If you want to maximize the amount of results that you're getting in the gym from your workouts, you got to prioritize that recovery. Maximize your sleep, have some smart programming, and actually dial in that nutrition. You take all 3 of these into account, you're going to be seeing a lot more progress than you otherwise would. Again, recovery is king. But again, everyone's going to be a little different. Everyone's got different recovery methods or modalities that they go about. It all comes down to what works for you. So go ahead. If there's something that I didn't bring up, but there's a specific recovery method that you believe is beneficial that other people should be doing, go ahead and comment down below. Let's try to help each other out. Also, comment down below any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diets, workouts, programs, whatever it is, comment it down below. I'd be more than happy to help y'all out. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any new videos, because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. And on Instagram and TikTok, same thing. Be sure to follow me on both accounts. I put all my links down in the description below. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.